about a year ago, I was asked to do a presentation at a marketing e-commerce conference, and I did a mock recording of my presentations, an entire slide deck. And a month later, I actually ended up not doing that presentation at all. It was going over all of like the entire setup that we use to scale to over $50 million in less than 4 years. And a couple days ago, I was helping a client kind of strategize their funnel, their setup, essentially. And I went back into my files and I found it, and I thought, hey, I need to share this. This never went out. So this is that video, but I wanted to give you an intro so you didn't just jump into a presentation. So check it out.
Let's talk about the missing pieces that helped us scale to $50 million, over $50 million in less than 4 years. So, first off, hi, my name's Devin, founder of Xscale. I'm the ex-chief awesome officer at Living It Daily. I don't know why when we first started that became my title and it just stuck around. And then I've managed over 7 figures in monthly ad spend. Just to be clear, I wasn't the one building the campaigns, but I oversaw the strategy and everything, how to piece things together to make it all profitable. And then I love building cool things that positively impact other people's lives. Some cool things that I've done over the years is got some cool awards like 2 Comma Club. If you aren't familiar with these, is ClickFunnels awards. When you do 7 figures and then 8 figures is 2 Comma Club X and then 2 Comma Club C. When you do 25, 50, 75, and 100, we left ClickFunnels before we could grab that 75. So there's a missing piece on that award that I'm eager to get back. But if you look closely, you can see me in the corner there trying to take a picture without me being in the reflection. Then we've got that weird Shopify award. I really don't know. It just randomly showed up one day when you do 100,000 orders. We weren't even trying to get this. We just got a box and it was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then the infamous OCU Zipify $1 million merchant belt that I love bringing out and walking around like I'm a pro wrestler in the house. And another cool accomplishment, which never thought we'd be able to achieve one day, which is just super cool. We were the 6th fastest growing company of 2022, which is super cool. Right below High Key, I always see them in the grocery store when I go to grab some cookies. Don't tell anybody. Some other cool things, random things about me. There's me and my beautiful fiance Rachel, our weird husky named Nico. I'm obsessed with cars, not fancy cars, but weird cars, and then I like to put weird stuff in it. So this is like an old Subaru station wagon with a Corvette engine in it. Super fun. It blows people away on the streets. My cousin is actually Poopies from Jackass 4. Here he is with Wee Man. I love extreme sports, so I like to do bouldering every now and then. And then UNCG is where I got my undergrad from, and they didn't have a football team, so I founded a football team, and there I am, my senior year, suited up, ready to play some football. All right, disclaimer. By no means are the things that I'm going to be speaking about today magic bullets. These systems require focus and hard work. When fully understood and applied to your business, these systems act as rocket fuel to your ability to scale. Let me explain. Before I jump into things, there's one definition I need to get across. The term funnel. And the reason I'm trying to put emphasis on this right now is I've explained funnel multiple times in conversations and sales calls and all this kind of stuff, and people have the idea of a funnel being day 1 to day 30. I'm talking about minute 1 to minute 2, a series of web pages that guide customers through the process of purchasing a product or service. That is what I'm referring to when I say funnel. Now, there's a belief that we need to squash because I hear this way too much. Simplicity is not scalable, but complexity is scalable if you keep the concept simple. Here's a prime example. I'm going back to my car stuff. A bicycle, very simple. You got some pedals, you got a chain, you got a sprocket, and a wheel. You push the pedals and the bike goes faster, but it gets topped out, right? That is not, you can't hit those maximum speeds, those warp speeds on a bicycle. Here you have a dog, a husky, driving a vehicle, and all we've got there is a steering wheel, an accelerator pedal, a brake pedal, and that is all connected to an engine that has a computer attached to it that has the ratios of fuel and oxygen that creates an explosion and exhaust and goes through a turbo. And you got suspension, like super complex, but the concept is simple. push the skinny pedal down and you go faster, hit the wide pedal, you stop, move the wheel, and you go side to side. Amazingly simple concept, but you can go a lot faster in a car than you can a bike, unless you're Lance Armstrong. So here's another way to break this down. This is why it makes sense. Simple gets you up to speed quickly, but to reach higher levels of speed, you need to introduce a level of complexity while keeping the concept of your business simple. Here's an amazing GIF. I don't know this guy, Jim Kardashian. He's extremely funny. Racing $1 million sports car. There's a prime example of off the line. Of course, he's going to win, but in the long run, I'm pretty sure that car hits 250 miles per hour. Jim Kardashian might be able to hit that, but I put my money on the car. So here's a prime example of what I'm talking about with the actual business we're speaking about today. So Living It Daily, we had masterclass funnels, book funnels, training funnels, advertorials, giveaway funnels, VSL product funnels, a membership, a challenge, a store. We were on Amazon, Walmart, and we even did a little bit of B2B. What I see most e-commerce brands doing is they have a store. Some of them have an advertorial going. A lot that I've seen lately don't even have advertorials going anymore. They have an Amazon setup, and they might have a little B2B here. Extremely simple. That can build you a 7-figure business. To scale past that, you need to introduce a level of complexity. Another definition that we need to define real quick is accelerator. I'm going to be using this term a lot, specifically accelerator pedal. The definition of accelerator, a person or thing that causes something to happen or develop more quickly. What the accelerator is, what I'm referring to in this presentation, is exactly what we put into Living It Daily to accelerate us, to scale us to whole new levels of revenue and size of business. The accelerator is a series of offers or funnels within your business that gets customers in with a predictable and scalable ROAS by taking them through a tailored journey to ultimately build trust with your business. This vehicle is called the IAS formula. I'll talk about that more in just a second. But the thing that I want you to understand here, this complexity that I just talked about, masterclass, book, training, giveaways, all this kind of stuff, that was the accelerator. That's the thing that we want to introduce into your business. That's the level of complexity that I'm talking about here. We want to introduce this accelerator into your business because you can't accelerate much further. You're like a bicycle right here trying to go 1,000,000 miles per hour, but you just can't pedal fast enough. You need to introduce an accelerator into your business. Now, I want to talk about the accelerator pedal. This is the actual thing that we're pushing to the floor. This is the core offer or funnel that should take up the majority of your cold ad spend. This is where we want to bring cold leads in, cold customers in. It needs to have a low new customer cost per acquisition and a near 1x new customer ROAS. Now, this is what we spent 2.5 years, the beginning of the business, 2.5 years trying to figure out what is that accelerator pedal? What is that offer we can push down to the floor that floods in a bunch of new customers and they just feed into our marketing machine. Everything else we have going in the background, everything that's profitable. We want something that's really low cost per acquisition and is self-liquidating, just cancels out our marketing spend. And this is what we ended up doing for the first 2.5 years, is just trying to figure this out. But once we figured it out, we scaled overnight. It was a $60,000 month, and then it was a $400,000 month, then an $800,000 month, and then $1 million month. Like, that's wild. And this is essentially what we did. Don't do this. Don't be this guy. Just gonna send it. You find the accelerator pedal and just send it to the floor. That's how you break your business, when you find that thing. Definitely don't be this guy. Okay, let me run back to the IAS formula real quick. The reason this is so important, I want a lot of emphasis here, is that too many of us in e-commerce are treating our quote-unquote businesses as just a marketplace. We're running ads to product pages. We're immediately trying to get people to purchase. That's not a business. You're just lining up at your local flea market, just handing out jars of honey here and there, or I guess having people purchase jars of honey here and there, when you actually need to build a business, an ecosystem within your business. And that is all built around trust. Because if you don't, the person right next to you, your competitor, is just going to prop up their shop, cut their prices down, have some kind of new spin or angle, have a person out in front doing backflips to get people's attention, and take your lunch. And that's what you don't want. Amazon taking your lunch all day if that's your business. You need to build trust with your customers, and this formula builds trust. And this is nothing new. This is nothing new. There's, I mean, the businesses all around us do this. You lead through information. You help the customer apply that information, and then you have supplementation. Information. Help your customers easily get the information they're looking for. Google, Facebook, whatever. Everybody's looking for information because from a consumer perspective, we think information solves the problem. Now, if we're smart enough on the business side, we know information doesn't solve the problem. The application of information solves the problem. So that's what we need to do next. That's what builds the ultimate trust, that bond. We need to help your customers easily apply that information and get the results they desire. When they're searching around looking for information, they think that information is going to get them the result. We know that's not true. We need to help them apply that information, not send them off with a PDF or an advertorial and expect them to do the work. We need to take their hand and help them get the result they want. That's what builds the trust. Then is supplementation. Help your customers easily maintain their results over an extended period of time. Whatever the problem that you're trying to solve as an entrepreneur, and you help that customer solve that problem, help them maintain that fix, help them maintain the problem that they just solved over an extended period of time. So here's what this looks like visually, the IAS formula. Imagine left side, wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole, they don't trust you at all. 100% on the right side, full trust, they want to introduce you to their mother-in-law, all that good stuff, right? Talk is cheap. Information, you can find it anywhere. Dr. Google, ChatGPT, all the AI platforms, TikTok, like information is extremely cheap. But the fact that they get information from you is a foot in the door. So that's why it's important that we lead with information. We just want to get feet indoors. We just want to get in front of somebody's face, right? We just want to show like, hey, I'm getting this information from X, Y, and Z. Okay, let me gather some more information from X, Y, and Z. Now, here's the amazing thing that happens. When you help this person actually apply the information and get that result they've been trying to get for years, they have the utmost trust with you. This is what we saw within Living It Daily. I'm going to show you exactly what this looked like. But when you help them apply that information through application, they have the utmost trust with you. And they're ready to buy everything that you send them. It doesn't matter if a competitor comes up on the scene. They're like, no. I tried all the different things, but I worked with this brand and I got the thing that I'm after. And so I'm going to tune that stuff out. Screw Amazon, even if they have a better price. I'm going to go to this brand, this store, because this is where I'm getting my results. That's what people want at the end of the day. Then you add in that supplementation piece. And if you have a good product, this is important. If you have a really good product and you continue to deliver on time, like subscription-wise, or even new products coming out, they will start to build the ultimate trust with you. That's why supplementation is so important. Application really gets you there. Supplementation over time with a good product keeps that customer around long term. Okay, enough of the theory talk and all of this. Let's actually dive into the deep end and see what this actually looked like for us. So what we had was a free plus ship book funnel. Now we led with information. And so what we did was this offer right here, it's, hey, grab this free book, just cover the shipping and handling. And this had an extremely low cost per acquisition, new customer cost per acquisition compared to our supplements. We tried to sell a supplement, new customer cost per acquisition, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100. This book, if we're doing good, it's about $30. If we're doing really good, it's about $25 new customer cost per acquisition. And then we look at the rest of this funnel here, upsells, downsells, cross sells, all within that same time frame. Remember, funnel, it's a series of web pages, not extended period of time, to offset that cost per acquisition. That's where that one-to-one comes in. So if we're acquiring new customers for about $25, our objective average order value at the end of that funnel within 30 minutes, sometimes less, within 30 minutes needs to be $25. Needs to be break even or a little bit less if you got some more strategic things in place. So this was our accelerator pedal. Now imagine this. We're flooding a bunch of new customers in, super low new customer cost per acquisition. This is the thing that we were able to floor. This was a self-liquidating offer that had a low cost per acquisition that introduced customers to the brand that way we could scale. This offer, we could put the majority of our ad spend behind to get the customers through the door and get them into our other offers. So remember, we were talking about master classes, trainings, etc. This was what brought everybody in. This had 50% to 60% of our ad spend on a daily basis. At its peak, we're able to get this to $100,000 a day on Facebook alone. Just this one offer, not all our other offers that we had in place, just this one offer. This was our accelerator pedal. But one thing I want to point out, there could be confusion here. We led with information, but this was also our accelerator pedal. Now, an accelerator pedal for most brands, it doesn't need to be information. There's a way around this. Like, we work with a pet supply brand, and their accelerator pedal, what we're discovering at the moment, has nothing to do with information. They just have a really good cog on a product that we're able to do this similar offer with, free plus ship. And we're able to get a bunch of new customers through the door. And that's the thing that we're scaling. So I just want to really put emphasis on that. It doesn't need to be information, but you need to have information within your business. That's first part of earning trust with someone. Okay, then we had application. So this is actually the book funnel that I just had right here. This is the same thing, but the very next step is we just tried to get them into our challenge or our membership, right? So after they grab the book, the very next step in that is like, let's help them apply the information that they're about to get in this book. So we have the IAS system formula right here in that one funnel. It doesn't always need to be this way. It can't always be this way. We formulated it this way to make sure that we had a really, really strong funnel. If you can do this, I suggest you do it. If not, it's not crucial that you build out a funnel this way. So what I'm saying is, we brought people in through that book. Then the very next step in that funnel is, hey, join a free trial to our challenges, our membership. And there, it's a 30-day challenge where they are with us for 30 days, learning how to get healthy, getting them results. At the end of that challenge, people were losing like 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, coming off medications, avoiding surgeries, getting their life back. That was true life change. Those people that got those results, they're not going anywhere. They got those results with us. They trust us. So anything that we have to offer them, as long as it's a great product and we're not being cheesy or whatever, they're going to stick around, and if they have the means, they're going to purchase it. That's what we wanted. 3 steps in this funnel was all about getting people into that membership, into that challenge. It was a trial, and then if they didn't want the trial, then we had a discount on the one time, because a lot of people don't like subscriptions. If they said yes to this, then we tried to upsell them to an annual or a lifetime membership to increase the average order value, which was I believe $300 or $1,000. And then after that, we had that supplementation piece, so we tried to offer supplements here. This had the lowest take rate because we're bringing people in through information. We need to help them apply that information first, get the results, then they'll be more likely to purchase this. This is where the rest of the funnels kind of came in. All right, so another part of this application piece is all roads led to Rome. So no matter what funnel we were doing, in some way, shape, or form, we always had traffic going to this application. So this is a masterclass funnel. What we're doing is we're opting somebody in for a 3-day masterclass where they get to watch these videos live. They go through a series of upsells and downsells, and then when they're on the masterclass, the main close at the end of the masterclass is, hey, want to own this information, this 3-day masterclass? Join the challenge, join the membership. And we always directed them back here. That way we couldn't get the ads on the front end to work to go straight to the challenge. They needed that information piece first in order to get them there. They had to get that initial buy-in, that step in their foot in the door, in order to say, okay, I need to do this. I need to apply this information. I need to get these results. And so we always found a way to drive them there. That's what kept that challenge full, and that's what yielded the best lifetime value customer. Supplementation. Part of those masterclasses, trainings, we did supplement funnels. We're always trying to get somebody into the supplement that matters. So a piece that I left out here with the masterclass funnel is this sales page. You're joining to learn this masterclass, but hey, this is kind of the angle that we use. 97% of people don't actually make it past day 1. And so if you're going to do one thing to solve X problem that we're talking about in this masterclass, try this. And so we had a really appealing offer on that sales page. And so we always flooded in that or threaded in that supplementation piece through all the other funnels that we were doing. That way we could lead with information, get people through the door, help them apply it through challenges, and also have other offers along the way to try and get them onto our main product, which is our supplements. One thing I want to point out here, all the things that I'm talking about, all the ads, all the funnels, notice none of them go to a PDP page. Well, I don't know why we are sending to PDP pages. It's not a business. It's really not a business. Okay, why this actually worked. We had a really low cost per acquisition, near self-liquidating. Ours was about like 0.7. We were doing good. And don't worry, we could scale that because the rest of the funnels that we had in place were extremely profitable. That offer on the front end, we could scale and bring a lot of new buyers in. We had a program / a community. I never liked the word program, but just so it makes sense, offer that could get customers their desired result. We never sold our products as a fix. If you sell it as a fix, then why would they come back to you again? They were always sold to enhance or complement your lifestyle. Take this on an ongoing basis. Subscriptions were huge for us. Take this on an ongoing basis to supplement your lifestyle. So let me get a little technical. Why this actually worked with math. Our book funnel new customer cost per acquisition was sub $30 at scale. This would get us about 300 to 500 customers a day. Customers, not leads, customers, people that actually took out their wallet. Our 30-day challenge was effective and was optimized optimized with a lot of cross-sell opportunities within it. So even though they're going through the challenge, they paid for this, they paid one time or monthly. They're going through this and we're indoctrinating them. We're constantly talking about our products, our supplements, etc. while they're going through this challenge. A lot of people may not be ready to purchase them just yet until the end, but we're just getting them primed, we're getting them ready. Then this created a really, really, really high lifetime value customer, giving us our ROI within 60 days. So everybody that came in through that book funnel, went through that challenge, at the end of it, their lifetime value is so strong because they're getting the result, they're buying our products. We're able to get a full return on investment, not ROAS, return on investment, meaning like cost per acquisition, cost of goods sold, processing fees, taxes, all that good stuff. All that we had an ROI within 60 days. That gave us a good idea of where we could scale. Masterclass training, supplement funnels, we kept those at a really positive ROAS to keep that profitability up, so we could have that 0.7 for that book funnel and really scale things without having to worry too much. Okay, that was really complex, so let me simplify the concept for you. So exactly what I talked about before, all of that I hope is somewhat complex, and I want to simplify it down. Okay, 6 steps. Develop an offer and a funnel that is or near a 1.0 ROAS with a very low CPA. Just get people through the door. And actually, let me correct this. This needs to be new customer CPA. Don't fall into the trap of having your warm customers come in and say, oh, yeah, it's a 1.0. No, this needs to be new customer only CPA. So we need to develop out a funnel that brings people through the door, introduces them to our brand. Remember, information is awesome, but not everybody's like writing a book or creating masterclasses and stuff. And it's okay to use a product just to get people through the door, but it needs to be one-to-one. This is going to take up majority of your cold spend. This is the thing that we need. This is the accelerator pedal of that entire accelerator system that we need to push down. Develop a program, challenge, procedure, get creative here, just to get your customer their desired result. This can be free, this can be paid, whatever it needs to be, just get them their result. This is a long-term play. There isn't a direct ROI on this thing right out of the gates. This is what builds the strong lifetime value. This is what you want to build into the business. Stop sending traffic to PDP pages and actually develop out landing pages that clearly talk about your product, why it's different, give people that overall good feeling, and stop sending them to a product page where you got your price and a buy button right there with subscription options and all that kind of stuff. Walk them through the process, slow down a little bit, tell them why they need this, and build a funnel on the back end of it. Don't just send them to a product page, have them go to a Shopify checkout, and that's it. Bada boom, bada bing, they're done. maybe a little bit of OCU action going on. That's great, but we need an actual catered funnel with optimizing the VSL on upsell to, and what's the downsell flow and all that. We need that in place. So build funnels out in that manner that are actually profitable. Optimize them for profitability so we can lose right here. That way we can keep the business healthy here. Find your 30, 60, and 90-day LTV metrics for customers that purchase your self-liquidating offer only. The accelerator pedal. These people. Find those LTV metrics for those people only. That's the important piece, because if majority of your cold ad spend is going there, and that's going to be your accelerator pedal, that's going to be the thing that scales you up and down. You want to know what that customer is worth, that new customer is worth at the end of 30, 60, and 90 days. And depending on your stomach, that's where, depending on what you see there, that's where you're going to scale. So identify where your scalable ROI is for your self-liquidating offer. Is it day 1, 20, 30, 60, 90? It's all dependent on you, right? And that offer. You might have an ROI on day 1. That's amazing. That's an amazing funnel. That'll scale right away. It might be 20, it might be 30, it might be 60, it might be 90. But it's all up to your stomach and the health of your business and where you can actually scale. If we saw 20 day ROI, oh my gosh, scaling to the moon. 90, oof, okay. We're not making our investment back in 90 days. So we might want to hold water a little bit. Once you find that, press the accelerator pedal down and scale. Scale the thing up. It's that simple. It's those 6 steps. I know the actual details of building all that out is quite complex, but if you look at it in that manner and stop treating your business, I'm going to do air quotes here, your business as like a marketplace and more like an ecosystem where you're having real people come in and you're building trust with those people and you're giving them offers and things that are outside of just buy my product, you're going to go so much further. You're going to scale so much higher. And if you get tactical with me for a second and look at your business as, it has accelerator pedals and it has, profitable offers. That's the tactic piece. But you need to look at your business. Please hear me. You need to look at your business as an ecosystem. Stop just trying to push your product.